Okay guys, what's going on? This is episode 2 of my little DIY SUV camping build out. So what we're going to focus on first is building the drawer. It's going to be something similar like in the last video what I showed you to this, but it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be just as wide, but I'm going to have a drawer here and then the refrigerator up top, which now I'm actually contemplating, because if the refrigerator's up top, it's going to make it more wobbly. I can never make up my mind. I'm so bad at this. So I took a bunch of carpeting off of an existing panel that I had, and so yeah, I'm going to take this piece right here and cut all of my pieces for the drawer out of this. So I'm going to build the drawer first. It's going to be 13 inches wide by 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches is high enough for me to like fit one of or two of the like pots that I usually bring with me, and it's going to be 30 inches deep. Assemble the drawer, and then I'm going to assemble the outside of the drawer, and then I'm just going to use this existing piece that I have right here to hold the refrigerator, and yeah, so I don't have to make a new one of those. I'm gonna get to cutting, get to assembling, and I will follow up with you guys after that. The little drawer is put together, 4.5 inches high. This is the little cooktop I have. This is the drawer. This fits right in just like that. And then I'm gonna put a divider in, and this will be kind of extra storage. A couple pots and pans, coffee, some dried food cans, stuff like that. Now that that's done, I have to build the actual big box that this slides into. This is 13 inches this way. You have to add a 1/2 inch on for each of the sliders. Be 14 inches wide. Now I just gotta build another box, 14 inches wide, and I'm not sure how high I'm gonna come, but I'm gonna figure it out as I go. Now let's start it. Now let's start cutting. Now let's start cutting and building the bigger one. Okay, so here it is, kind of mocked up. I wasn't sure how high to bring this and whether or not to come over, because I was thinking maybe I can just bring the sides up to here, just enough to put a drawer slide here for the fridge to pull out. But looking at it now, it's a lot lower than I thought it'd be. So I have plenty of clearance here. So I'm literally going to build it all the way up, all the way over, a big box basically. And then I can put some other things on top of this, some extra like space. It's always a good idea to do a quick mock-up, and I'm glad I did, because I have plenty of storage here, or plenty of space to put some other stuff on top. All right guys, I have the boards cut out, top and bottom. These are the sides. The sides are a little bit shorter than the top and bottom, and I actually did this on purpose because it gave me less waste. I could have used the other piece of plywood that I had, but I would have had more waste. So I figured, what's the point? There's really nothing gonna be back here anyway. The drawer comes back to 30 inches. This is like 28.5 or something. And I wanna kind of keep the back a little bit open anyways, because the refrigerator is gonna sit here and the vents for the refrigerator are in the back. So I am gonna have to drill out holes on the side of this to add, to give extra ventilation. But let's get the drawer and just kind of mock it up and see and make sure it fits good. So this is going to be the bottom drawer. Got the side piece pretty flush here. The front is flush. And we should, oh no, something's not right. Oh, I think I messed up. Okay, I messed up. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I wanted the sides here up on top of this. I wanted this to be all the way at the bottom, so I forgot to take into consideration the 3/4 of an inch for these. Technically, this should have came out further, and this should have came out a 3/4. I should have cut this, instead of 14 inches, it should have been another 1.5 inches. This, my friends, is what's called life. There's actually a quick fix to this. So all I'm gonna do is go on the table saw, I'm gonna rip down two pieces of wood that are 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm just gonna glue them onto the tops of here and then nail them, and that'll give me the extra 3/4 inch height for clearance for the refrigerator. And then these boards here, I'm just gonna leave them as they are. I'm just gonna drill them in and screw them in from the side here. So these things happen. I don't do woodworking every day, but you know, whatever. So yeah. Just use a couple of brad nails just to kind of hold it in place while I mock some things up and just make sure that everything fits. A little bit of a problem here. The problem comes back to these down here. They're supposed to be on the top. This was supposed to be on the top. This was up here, would have gave me a lot more space. I have this, which is gonna hold the refrigerator sitting right on top of here, and I still do not have enough clearance. So this has to come up here, which means I have to cut another piece, which is easy, and that's okay because this I can use for some other shelving that I'm gonna set up in the car. So it's not like I'm wasting it or anything. I just need to cut a piece that's from here to here, which should be about 15.5, and that will give me an extra 3/4 of an inch, which will be perfect. Okay, this is better. Cut a new piece, 15.5, come on. So I'm gonna tack this into place with some brad nails, make sure that everything fits, and then go from there. So I'm just taking the drawer slide for the refrigerator, laying it right on top of here, and now I have 11 3/4 inches, which gave me an extra 3/4 of an inch, putting this up here. And the refrigerator, it's only 11 inches high. So I have 3/4 of an inch to work here. So I'm gonna take this and bring it up, maybe 3/8 of an inch or something. And that should give me plenty of clearance down here and up here. Okay, got it going. Comes out pretty good. Goes in. These are soft close hinges. The reason why I buy these is because there's a little bit of resistance. For the refrigerator, you still have to kind of lock it or put something there because the refrigerator will fly open. This, I don't think I'll have to worry about it. So yeah, I just had to make a couple tweaks like on the adjustments, a little up and down on each one. Now the test is to make sure it clears the little lip that's in my car, but I think it will. So I've put this in the car. Let me bring this up a little bit. I put this in the car. I kind of mocked it up to make sure it's gonna fit the way it should and whatnot, and there's plenty of room, and there is. Now, basically what I'm gonna do is just screw down everything on this big frame. So once everything is screwed in really well, then I'm gonna put the drawer, the slide for the refrigerator in, and then I'll probably, maybe I'll just put a face over this piece to make it look a little prettier. Then I'm gonna either probably carpet some stuff, paint some stuff. So still a lot of work to be done. Wow, pretty good. All right, looks like we have just enough clearance. Literally about 1/4 of an inch there clearance, which is fine by me. Comes out, slides in, no problem. because this is so big and heavy, when the refrigerator's out, it's not even tipping over because the weight of this supports the weight of the refrigerator, plus the way I have it, sitting in here. The heavier part is back here, which is where like the refrigerant and the motor, the coils are. So this is the lighter end. I don't know if you can see that. I have my little camping stove in here. I want to create a little top that goes here, so when I take this out, I can take the water bottle, I can put it down here, I can have a little bit of a work surface down here. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this to fit in there, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some small strips here, leave them 1/4 of an inch down from the top, and then this piece will sit right on top of those. So that is the next step, so I'm going to get started there. Like a glove. Alright, so drawer slide. Well, not the drawer slide. The top here came out good. So, slide over. I'm going to drill a hole right here so I can put my finger in and move it and pick it up and stuff like that. And the brad nails that I put in, they're sticking out. No big deal. All I'm going to do is let the glue dry on these little sides here, and then I will take a pair of pliers like this and kind of come in and just pull the nails completely out. I'll do that after a half a day or so of the glue drying. Alright, so one of the other things I want to do is just make a couple dividers. So I'm taking this 1/4 inch underlayment, I'm going to notch out a couple sections here, and I think I'm gonna keep my 2 gas containers here, and then I'm gonna slide one of these right into here, and then I could put another one right here, but I might slide one like over here. Not quite sure where I'm gonna make them. Setup is pretty much done. I gotta paint this probably, or I might put some carpet here. I'm gonna put a handle, obviously. Okay, so I got my little top, slides in here. I put a hole in there. I can just slide that. So I don't know if you can see. Alright, so I got about 11 inches here, and that's gonna be pretty much where all of my kind of food goes, coffee, canned goods, things like that, whatever. All of the kind of dry foods will go in here, which this is plenty room. I'm not buying like 3 weeks worth of food when I'm traveling. And then I don't know if you can see this. Let me bring the camera this way. All right, so I have this little piece here, and you say, well, what's back there? You can't get to it because you can't lift that up. Because again, I only have 24-inch drawer slides, and this is 30 inches. All I'm gonna have to do to get back there is slide this out, and now I can access it from back here. I don't know if you can see that. So I can access that stuff from back here, and it's just my fuel. I'm gonna carry an extra one of these and an extra one of these. It's there, put this back, drawers here, slide that back, and we're all good. I think this might be the end of episode 2 for a couple reasons. One primary reason is I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do in terms of storage behind the big cabinet unit. You know what? Let me put it in the car and show you and explain. This is what's going on. This is the back of the unit, or the drawer. And what I wanna do is build some kind of shelving system off of here, which is why I extended this an inch out further than this, so I could put a board here and then put some shelving here. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm gonna do here, which is also why I haven't cut the hole with the piano hinge so I can open it up and get to the storage underneath, because I'm not sure, you know, what's going on here and how much space I'm gonna have. But yeah, that's the biggest thing right now. I think I might just close this off and then just put some shelves here, or I might put one of those folding shelves. Actually, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put a board here, a straight one, to close this off, and then I'm gonna get those locking hinges, so when you fold it off, it locks in place. Maybe I'll do 2 of them. I'll do them shorter, like 6 inches. So I'll have one that folds up here, and then I can do another one that folds up here. So I'll have 2 shelves. Now that, I think, is a good idea. What I'm gonna do with this space here is I'm gonna build another piece that comes up, over, and down. So there will be another piece that's level with this that goes across, and that's gonna serve as like a little table. And when I sleep, my feet will just go right under it. It's kind of similar to what I already had. And then what I'm also gonna do is this drawer here, I'm gonna carpet the whole inside. This way, you know, you don't hear like everything clinging around when it's carpeted. It's nice and quiet. Oh, it's coming together. And I can literally just kind of cut this out right here, put a piano hinge, and have it. I'll probably do 2, maybe one that way and one this way. Yeah, I'll figure it out. So that is going to do it for episode 2. In the next episode, we're going to finish this off. So what we have to do is we have to paint the false top white, carpet the inside of the drawer, order locking hinges and install the shelves, which are going here, cut out the opening for the storage under the seat, that's this, build legs for the platform. We're going to do one leg here and one leg on the other side of me to support this, put the headrest onto this, and possibly paint this black. And one other thing we have to do is we have to mount right here the 2 2x6s that I used for support. We have to mount those to the car, and I know how we're going to do that. I didn't do it the way I was originally going to with the L brackets because the gas tank is right underneath. So what I'm going to do is use the existing bolts for the car seat, and I thought of a way how to do that. So let me add that on. So I can sit in here pretty comfortably, so I think this is going to work out relatively well. Anyways, if you guys are still watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you on board. Typically, my videos are about landscape, nature, and wildlife photography, but this is all part of my life. So I'm going to start incorporating more of that stuff into these videos. All right, I'll see you guys in the next episode.